this Wednesday lunchtime now, we're delighted to be saying happy birthday to pop star Peter Andre, who turns 35 today. So in honour of Mr Price, let me introduce you to today's loose lineup. Despite what Jordan says, those memories of hers cause all the boys to go insania. It's Colleen Nolan. She's got more phobias than she'd care to mention. Mysterious girl, it's Denise Welsh. If his missus has invited this one to the birthday bash, probably not. It's Carol McGiffin. And making sure our discussions today don't enter a whole new world, it's me, Jackie Brambles. Coming up later, as Howard Donald reveals his bum on Take That's latest DVD, we'll be asking, do you mind men flashing their behinds? And here for an exclusive chat about his recent stage collapse, we're relieved to say actor Todd Carty will be here. And famous as long-suffering Marjorie, opposite Penelope Keith in comedy classic To the Manor Born, here with news of her latest West End role, it's Angela Thorne. As we just mentioned, it's Peter Andre's birthday today, and as you may recall, his wife, Katie Price, was less than complimentary about our own Carol when she appeared on the show the other week, suggesting that she might need a facelift. How dare she? But we thought we'd give it a go, so we've had a computer-generated image made up of what Carol would look like if she did indeed go under the knife. And here we are. You look like the Joker.
It doesn't look like me. No, but it's that Wildenstein look, isn't it? That Wildenstein woman. If you take the eyes off, he is good. That bit there.
Yeah, I just
that bit there.
Tape up like that, maybe a little bit.
But not cheaper than surgery.
A lot of tape, actually.
No, let's have a look at that.
I want to look like me. I don't want to look like someone that said their face like a monster.
You don't need a facelift.
But if I go on a long holiday and I come back looking different, don't say anything.
No, we won't, we won't. OK, talking of holidays, how much have you travelled around the fair isle we call the UK? Well, it seems millions of Brits have barely travelled further than the end of their road. Astonishingly, almost 5 million Southerners have never been north of the Watford Gap, whilst 2.3 million Northerners have never ventured south. So, Carol, you're a globetrotter.
I am.
How often do you just venture further outside the M25 than normal?
Well, believe it or not, I do go on a lot of holidays and do like to go abroad and I do like to fly, but, I have seen most of this country and I have been almost everywhere. There's, if you can just name a city or a town, I've probably been there because years and years ago, I went on a big, long road trip in an old, Mark II Jaguar and just drove for weeks, just all around the UK, to Wales, to Scotland, to Derbyshire, Yorkshire...
Newcastle?
The Lake District. No. No, but I have been there. I have been there, though, but not for, not for any amount of time. But I have seen the UK. And
Blackpool?
I have, actually, yeah. I've got a picture of me, by the trams and near the donkeys and everything.
Oh,
I didn't stay there very long, I have to say. We were only there for a few hours.
Why did you frighten the donkeys?
No, we couldn't find anywhere to eat because everywhere was closed at 7 p.m.
No, it's not.
Well, it was then. It was quite a long time ago.
You've been to Scotland, haven't you?
I have. I've spent a lot of time in Scotland. I've seen the whole of Scotland, and I have to say, it really is one of the most beautiful places in the world. It is well worth going to, and I think all those people who have not travelled north or south and think, just because where they live, that's the best place, they should be ashamed of themselves because it's not difficult. And I know it's expensive. It is really expensive to travel around the UK
Well, it's
now,
expensive to holiday in this country.
It is. Unfortunately, it is. That's why I don't do it.
Denise, what about you? Would you say you're well-travelled? Domestically?
Yeah, I think I'm reasonably well-travelled domestically. I mean, my mum and dad, we used to put the old Sprite Alpine caravan on the back of the car and go off on, 20-hour journeys to Cornwall or whatever it took in those days. But we also used to go to France and Spain. But I think I would love to see more of Scotland and Ireland. I would like to see more of Scotland and Ireland. But it is with a family, it is expensive to holiday in this country, especially when you don't know if you're going to get the weather. So trying to keep kids occupied in this country, it costs an absolute blooming fortune, like everything in this country does. But we do. There's nowhere, to me, England in the summer. There's nowhere more beautiful than England in the summer.
Scotland.
It's just, well, England, but
Ireland.
But we don't.
Or Wales.
But we don't get the weather. I mean, look at last summer, you know. But I do get cross with people who say, we know this farmer from the northeast, and lovely chap as he is. We live where our house is 12 miles from Newcastle. And you go, have you been to Newcastle much then? He goes, don't need to go, don't want to go. Don't want to go, don't need to go. And that's all he says.
12 miles away.
It's 12 miles away. He went as a child, and that's the farthest, you know, he just never goes anywhere.
But I actually...
Nowhere.
You know when there used to be this big debate about the North and South debate thing, and I used to think, oh, it's a load of rubbish, that. But actually, there really is, I think. I think a lot of
North-South divide.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of people in the North go, oh, you know, what do I want to go down South for? They're all snobby down there, think they're better than us, blah, blah, blah. And then down South they go, well, what do I want to go up North for? They're all...
Well, they still have a cloth cap and whip
No,
idea
they
of the
don't.
northeast, and it's a fantastic
There is.
place.
I've met people that are like... people that are like that.
I do think that there is a bit of a grudge. There's a grudge match going on between the North and the South, and I think it's been exacerbated by this government, unfortunately. But I do think that when...
the government
Unfortunately, it has, though. But I do think the people in the South, when they joke about... You know, when Jane McDonald's on the show, I do joke with her that, you know, do they have cars up north and things like that? But it's a joke.
I do think you
know,
do
it's an
have a
obvious
little
joke.
northern thing. You have to get jabs when you go to Manchester.
I'm going to Manchester this weekend, actually.
But
So I do get around.
It goes both ways. I mean, there are people, you know, I know people in Scotland who've never been to London, never been to the capital, but equally know Southerners who've never been to Edinburgh.
yeah.
So it goes both. But I mean, for me, we were talking about this the other night, David and I, saying, oh, you know, we've got a 2-year-old. What do you want your children to grow up to be like? And I said, the most important thing to me is that they are adventurous and see the world. So I really want to encourage them to travel as kids, which you grew up on the road.
Absolutely. Oh, I've been around Jackie Brambles.
We know that.
Around and back a few times. Yeah, but I agree with you with the kids. I mean, I know with Shane Jr. now being 19, and he was asked to go to America last year, and at first he was like, oh, it's such a long way. And I said, look, I don't care if you go, give it 2 weeks. And then if you say to Mum, I can't stand it, I want to come home, that's fine. But please just go and try. It's such a beautiful, big world out there. I think for kids, it's really important.
I don't know
to
how
see it.
people can be happy to die without having been out of this country. I
Well,
just really don't
unfortunately-
understand it.
Yeah, but Denise, some people are. You know, my mum never wanted to go anywhere, ever. Ever. You know, she just loved being at home, and that was it. She never wanted to travel, and she never did. But, you know, you think it's always the best thing to do, but a lot of people don't want to do it.
I suppose it's generational too, just in that it's only been quite a recent phenomenon, hasn't it, in the last, what, 10, 15 years, that flights became so cheap that you could easily venture abroad cheaper than you could have a holiday, you know, with your kids in Blackpool for 2 weeks or
Mind,
whatever.
there's travel and travel. I mean, I love to travel, and I envy the amount you travel. But even I couldn't do Bangkok for a weekend like Carol does. Just Bangkok for a weekend, Friday to Monday.
It's easy. It's really easy.
And then you don't remember it when you come
You're
back.
right. Doesn't know where she's been.
I do. Shut up.
Break time now, but coming up, would you be happy being called average? Back soon. Welcome back to your lunch date with the Loose Women. Alongside me, Jackie Brambles. This Wednesday are the ever so opinionated Carol McGiffin, Denise Welsh and Colleen Nolan. Well, now, it seems to be the word that most people would dread to be called in this day and age. Yes, average. But Catherine Knight, writing in the Daily Mail, believes that often the average or normal woman with 2.4 children, a stable marriage and a comfortable home life actually have the most contented life. But as we live in an age obsessed with celebrity lifestyles and aspiring to have more than the norm, it seems that women who are happy with their lot aren't to be admired. But would you be happier with just an ordinary life, or to be called an average person?
Well, oh, I don't know.
Well, you've never really had an ordinary life, because you no, but you were, you know, child star since age 2.
Child star. Oh, I tell you. Yeah, no, I haven't had a normal upbringing, I don't suppose. But it felt normal to me because I didn't know any different. But it's only now that I have Kira, and I really try and make her life as normal as possible. And I love the fact, you know, on a Wednesday she does dancing, and, you know, she does different activities after school, which are things I never got to do, really.
Yeah.
And I love seeing her have that childhood, because I think she'll have great memories when she's older of, I had a normal childhood. unlike myself. But having said that, I sometimes envy people that are, you know, the people that just have a really stable life. They know exactly what they're doing and they've got the job that they go to, but they're home at the same time every night and they have this lovely life and they can